This special episode of TM2 starts with the announcer saying that we'll get to see these girls up close and loud. Believe me, we don't need to get close to them to hear how loud and trashy they are. Brianna arrives for the reunion. She hasn't talked to Javi recently and says she feels bad for Jenelle. When asked about Kale, however, she says she doesn't care for her. Her whole family, who of course is all in attendance, doesn't like her either. Jenelle refuses to go to the reunion because David can't go, and for some reason, MTV allows her to do this. She says all the girls on TM2 used to get along, and she doesn't know what could have possibly went wrong. I mean, when you posted Kale's phone number on Twitter, you must have just done that so her fans could send her love, right? Or when you and David criticized Leah's kids' cheerleading makeup, you were just looking out for their best interests, I'm sure. I have no idea why the rest of the girls wouldn't like you. And her friendship with Brianna is honestly just a ticking time bomb. I can't wait to see what Jenelle does to destroy that relationship just like she's done everything else. Anyway, Jenelle also says that Barb talks to Nathan just to spite her. Barb says that she thinks the reunion is going to be peaceful and calm without Jenelle, which, LMAO, your daughter isn't the only trash person on this show. Just the most trashy, but not the only trashy. The crew talks to Nathan a bit too, and he says Jenelle didn't get charges against her for the gun incident because it's legal to have guns in that state. Nathan filed for custody of Kaiser, and the audience gets all excited, but this dumbass named himself as defendant in the case paperwork, so the court send it back to him and he has to start the process over because of the error. You bumbling idiot. Cole and Chelsea arrive with these corny-ass shirts that say drama is for nerds, and I'm honestly not amused. It was never a hilarious quote, and Chelsea always acts like she's better than everybody else. But it was just a few years ago that Adam was cheating on his girlfriend with her, and she knew and didn't care, and nearly got pregnant by him again. That's not drama. I really dislike Chelsea's attitude, sorry. Before the reunion, Chelsea sits for Coffee Convo's podcast with Kale. Kale said the only thing she's mad about, that Brianna said, was Brianna talking about how Chris beat her in front of her kids. But obviously, Kale, that's not true that that's the thing that got you mad, because she was mad at Brianna way before that. Kale says she is accomplished while Brianna is not, but she's not accomplished enough to not be a 26-year-old woman trying to fight Brianna. As for Leah, she doesn't want to talk to Brianna. She says she also doesn't want to be nice anymore. Chelsea is actually walking around wearing that stupid shirt. She FaceTimes Cole but looks at herself on the screen and says, "Look at all my teeth, guys." You mean those nice veneers Daddy got you? Kale texts Brianna asking if she wanted to talk, and Brianna makes a very displeased face. Kale says she brought the same energy, and Brianna agrees to hear what she has to say. Kale's getting ready for the reunion, and also secretly getting ready to fight Brianna, possibly. Her friend Becky mentions that Kale, you just got your hair done, which implies that Kale's going to fight her. Becky goes to talk to Leah, supposedly to ask her opinion on the situation with Brianna. But for some reason, she's like, "Well, Leah, you should know Kale, didn't you spend a week with her in Hawaii?" Is it just me, or is Becky a little bitter she wasn't invited on that Hawaii trip? Brianna and Kale arrange to go into a room to talk things out, with no cameras, just them and security guards. But we do still get to hear the audio, because these girls are too dense to realize that they're still mic'd. So they get in there, and first, Kale asks about the Insta comment that Brianna left, saying that Chris beats Kale in front of her kids. Brianna tells her to relax. Kale says she's going to do and say what she wants. Brianna asks what her problem is and tells her to stay away. They ask each other, "Who do you think you are?" And then Kale is the one who escalates things. She's like, "Let me just hit Brianna one time," talking to the security. Brianna leaves, and Kale says she can't say anything to her face. People are instigating in the hallway. This security lady named Felicia saying, "Nope, no fight, it's not happening." Man, bye Felicia, I'm trying to see this hoedown. Now Brianna is the one putting her hair up and talking about Kale to her entourage. Brianna says Kale acted big, came across the table trying to fight, but that Kale knew security was going to be there, so it was just a show. Brittany makes fun of Kale begging to hit Brianna just once, and says if she really intended to hit her, she wouldn't need to ask permission. Kale storms into her own dressing room and Bone asks, "Do you need a hug?" Kale yells, "No, I don't need a hug!" I don't know why Kale thinks she needs Chris so bad. She has about 3 different lesbians in this room right now vying for her attention. It's almost time for the actual reunion to start. Kale is yelling at Brianna that she's an internet thug and is saying, "Fight me, fight me." When she's in a room alone with her sister, Brianna says, "I don't need to fight with her when we're on stage." But Brittany gives Brianna this look, like this knowing look between the sisters. They knew exactly what they were about to do. In fact, they probably planned it all out in the bathroom. So they come out on the stage. Kale is on her phone, Chelsea is on her phone, Jenelle isn't even there. None of these people are taking this seriously. And then as soon as Brianna comes out, she comes out raging. She's yelling, "All that shit talking you were doing?" Then Brittany hops out from behind the couch like an agile cat, and they start coming for Kale. Brianna is livid, screaming, "Now you don't want to do nothing?" Kale walks around the couch leisurely, saying, "I'm trying to get to you." But is she really, though? Security grabs hold of Brianna and is dragging her as she tries to get away and get to Kale. She screams, "Let me go!" in this demon-sounding voice. But security hasn't gotten to Brittany, who gets behind Kale and yanks her down by the hair. Kale yells that your sister has to fight your battles, Brianna. Brianna is just so furious, even though security is holding her back. She manages to throw a picture and a vase at Kale, none of which land. She's a total mess, dress coming up, underwear showing while she rides around the security guard's arms, flailing like she needs a straitjacket. Kale says Brianna is all bark and no bite. Then we have Bone trying to come up again and fight, which doesn't pan out. Later, Brittany says Brianna shouldn't have done that, should have just waited till after the show when there's no security. Kale hypes up in front of the cameras, and then randomly starts undressing with the camera still in her dressing room, so they leave. Because nobody wants to see that. Leah blames the situation on Brianna, but Kale is clearly at fault too, and in fact she was the first one trying to hit Brianna. Then the catalyst to all of this, Javi himself, comes into Kale's dressing room, not looking like much to fight over. And when he comes in, he says something like, "Whoa, it's Rocky here himself." Javi is just so smug about all of this, sitting there eating his salad with this shit-eating grin. You just know he's thinking in his head, "Oh yeah, I got girls fighting over me. I'm a real man. Even though Kale cheated on you and had a baby with another man, and Brianna never cared about you." And then Chelsea's not the only one here with a stupid shirt. Kale's wearing one that says, "I only make boys." I can't tell if that's supposed to be some point of pride or what. Anyway, Kale tells her version of what happened to Javi, and finally admits that Javi was the root of their fight. But she ends up just arguing with him too, and she calls him Huggy, maybe because he's that let me get a hug type of dude. He leaves the room after they bicker. Leah talks to Nessa a bit about what happened and says, "This has not been a productive workday." No kidding, it never really is though. MTV knows once again what they're doing with the introduction scenery, and they show this Mean Girls poster in NYC to summarize this episode. And that's all for this episode of Teen Mom 2. Which fight was more enjoyable to watch, Kale versus Brianna or the almost fight between Farrah versus Amber a few years ago? Who do you think instigated the fight, Kale, Brianna, or MTV? Leave a comment down below and make sure to subscribe for Teen Mom recaps every week.